Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty big year for DAIWA. So I have some good news and I have some bad news for you DAIWA fans and DAIWA fanboys. Okay, so let's start with the good news. Now the good news is that DAIWA is celebrating their 60th anniversary apparently. So they're coming out with a lot of new reels this year. I don't remember them coming out with so many different reels since 2011 when they released the T3. So let's start off with the, I believe it's called the Red Tune TW100, which looks to be a STEEZ, but they've dressed it up in red and black, kind of like the limited edition previous generation STEEZ. Now this has got a 100mm handle and I guess some special power grip knobs. And as you can see, it is a STEEZ and it is for the 60th anniversary. Okay, so the next reel that we're going to go over is something that I've went over before, probably in the previous video. It's the SV Lite Limited. Now this looks like it's the old current SV frame, which is the old STEEZ frame, but this one is going to have a metal handle side plate, which is presumably going to be magnesium. Now it's got a 32mm shallow spool that's got the air brake. They don't give a weight on that spool, but it looks pretty shallow to me. And a big thing here, I see that it's featuring the zero adjuster spool tension, like the current STEEZs. Now this is a reel that I'm pretty interested in getting once it comes out, but looking at the pricing on this, that may be questionable, but we'll see. Okay, so the next reel is one that I've went over, but I've got a little bit more information on it now, and of course that's the new 2018 RYOGA 1016. Now it's going to feature an all metal body and side plates. As you can also see, it's featuring the DAIWA zero adjuster. So it looks like DAIWA is moving towards that zero adjuster spool tension, where I don't think they want you to touch it. It's going to come preset from the factory at the optimal setting, apparently. Now, the big news here is they have a new drag system called the ATD, Automatic Tournament Drag. I'm not sure what that does, but I will look into it. And the biggest news, I think, is DAIWA is coming out with their own version of micro module gears called hyper mesh gears, as you can see in this picture here. Now I guess for all the guys who said that Shimano's micro module was a gimmick, looks like DAIWA is jumping on the gimmick bandwagon as well. Now of course, this being their top of the line round reel, this is going to be pretty pricey. I'm thinking at least STEEZ price here. Okay, the next reel is the top of the line, I believe, spinning reel, and it's going to be the EXSENCE 60th anniversary. Now the only thing I know about this is going to have that new ATD drag system, the automatic tournament drag, and of course it's going to have the mag sealed. It's a kind of a bold move because this new EXSENCE is coming out at the same time as the 2018 STELLA. Usually Shimano and DAIWA tend to stagger their releases so they're not in direct competition with each other, but I guess you can't really do anything about it being the 60th year anniversary for DAIWA. As you can see, it's going to have a pretty high-end, classy, all-silver, chromish look to it, and of course being the top of the line spinning, this is going to cost an arm and a leg. Okay, so the newest reel that has the most interest to me out of the new DAIWAs is the Alphas Airstream Custom. Now this is apparently it's an Alphas Air that's been factory tuned. Now, previously DAIWA came out with an SS Air Airstream Custom, which featured a lot of their SLP parts and a custom green paint job just like this one. And as you can see that this particular Alphas Air is going to have a ported spool where the current one does not. So that's going to lighten the spool I'm thinking it's probably going to be either a SS Air spool or a T3 spool there. But as you can see, it's a nice slick silver color, which I like a lot. Now I don't have the pricing on this, but this is probably going to be the cheapest reel out of all these that I've went over so far. Okay, so now that we got the good news out of the way, let's go over the bad news. Now all these sick reels, of course, are going to be freaking expensive. I think the cheapest one is probably going to be at least $400. So that's going to put it out of the price range of a lot of people, which kind of sucks. But, you know, that's just the way it is when you have the high-end stuff. But it's really not that much bad news, except for the guys who can't afford it. Okay, so over in the Abu Garcia camp, we're finally getting some news about some releases here. Now, it looks like they're releasing what they call the REVO Elite 8, which used to be either their top of the line or their second to the top of the line baitcaster. As you can see by this picture, it looks pretty much to be a REVO Premier with maybe a couple of minor changes here and there. It's got the IVCB6L locking system and a pretty slick looking cast control cap. But other than that, it looks to be a REVO Premier that we have over here. Okay, so for you Abu Garcia spinning reel fans, they're coming out with looks like a new top of the line spinning reel. So it looks like this year is going to be the year of the top of the line spinning reels. And this is called the REVO MG Extreme. I guess it's their version, the spinning version of the REVO MG Extreme baitcaster. Now let me go over some of the things about this. Now, it's going to have a lightweight rotor. It's a combination of magnesium and carbon fiber, as you can see in this picture here. It's going to have a metal gearbox they call feather metal, which is probably magnesium. Looks like it's got a slanted lip, just like the Shimano's propulsion spool lip, and looks like you're going to get a lot for your money. It's going to come in its own special case with an extra cork and EVA knob and a couple of other accessories, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what the price is on this. Oh yeah, I see the price here, and it's going to be, as expected, pretty expensive. But we're not going to know until they actually come out. Now, I'm going to do one final video after all the official releases at the upcoming Japanese fishing shows. I think there's actually one this week, and then there's going to be a couple of others in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to get a definitive answer on these new products that are coming out in Japan, and hopefully some of these will be making their way over here to us in the United States. But even if they're not, of course, there's also other ways of getting them to come over here. Now, on that note, I am going to be producing a second how to buy JDM tackle video, and this is going to be a really important one because I believe I have found some potential fake fraud sites, and I'm going to go over step by step all the things that I think make this a potential fraud site. So be on the lookout for that. Alright guys, thanks a lot.